Dear friends of Hydrogen Europe and the Clean Hydrogen Partnership, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I remember very vividly the moment when we launched the European Green Deal exactly 4 years ago. Back then, clean hydrogen was the dream of a few visionaries, many of whom are in the audience today. Those visionaries believed that clean hydrogen could be central to our transition towards climate neutrality. With its potential to power heavy industries, to propel trucks and trains, and to store seasonal energy. Today, 4 years later, the hydrogen economy is blooming. The first hydrogen buses are running in European cities, from Riga to Barcelona. Construction works have just begun on the Port of Rotterdam to build a hydrogen network that will span for over 1,000 kilometers. And weeks ago, the world's first plane powered by liquid hydrogen cruised the skies of Slovenia. It is the dawn of the clean hydrogen era. And all of this is happening thanks to people like you, pioneers and believers in the clean hydrogen revolution. In these 4 years, we have done our utmost to support and accompany you, to help you bring innovative hydrogen solutions from the laboratory to the factory, from the factory to the market, and from niche to scale. We've been working on 3 main strands. First, strong public investment to scale up the hydrogen market. Second, international cooperation to build a global market for hydrogen. And third, a new partnership with the private sector to spur innovation. So let me update you on the progress we have achieved so far on each strand of work. First, on investment. The European Green Deal is backed by massive investment. With Next Generation EU and Repower EU, we are investing in hydrogen valleys, hydrogen trains, and clean steel factories. We have authorized over 17 billion euros in state aid for roughly 80 hydrogen projects across the European Union. And this week, we're taking the next step, launching the first auction of the European Hydrogen Bank. It is backed by 800 million euros in European funding, and more importantly, it will attract private sector financing and result in commercial offtake agreements. Today, I can also announce the next steps for the European Hydrogen Bank. In spring 2024, we will launch the second round of auctions, reaching a total value of 3 billion euros. It is a promise we made 1 year ago, and it is now becoming reality. In parallel, we are also working on the international leg of the European Hydrogen Bank. This will secure diversified imports of renewable hydrogen from reliable suppliers abroad. And this leads me to my second point, that is developing a global market for clean hydrogen. We have already signed hydrogen partnerships with countries ranging from Egypt, Kenya, and Namibia to Latin American countries. They have immense potential to produce clean energy, transform it into clean hydrogen, and then ship it to the world. And here at the Hydrogen Week, new and I must say exciting initiatives will see the light and will be discussed with Kazakhstan, Australia, and Oman. And together with President Lula of Brazil, we are announcing the European Union's support to build one of the biggest hydrogen projects in the world in the Brazilian state of Piauí. It is part of a 2 billion euro global gateway investment in the hydrogen value chain in Brazil. This new green energy park will be a 10 gigawatt production facility for clean hydrogen and ammonia, which will then be shipped to the island of Krk in Croatia. From there, hydrogen will travel to serve industrial off-takers in Southeast Europe. And in parallel, this project will create local jobs and value chains in Brazil. All of this shows more than ever that Europe is not only a clean hydrogen pioneer, but also a partner to build a worldwide hydrogen market. With these public investments, we are helping attract and mobilize massive private capital. Cooperation with the private sector is my third and final point. This has always been the logic of the European Green Deal. We provide clear rules and incentives so that you, inventors and investors, can push forward the clean transition. With you, the industry, in the driving seat, and this is why we have just launched a series of clean transition dialogues with each industrial ecosystem. And it was only natural to dedicate the first clean transition dialogue to the hydrogen industry. Last month, we sat down with many of you to plan the next phase for the European hydrogen sector. And now we have to follow up on our conversation, and we will do just that. By the end of the year, we will assess how member states plan to implement their national hydrogen commitments to provide you with a clear roadmap towards 2030 in each member state. We will also make it simpler to access public financing by creating a one-stop shop under the European Hydrogen Bank to guide hydrogen project promoters on EU funding. In our dialogue, we also discussed how to support producers and consumers to better find each other, linking the demand and supply of clean hydrogen. We will do this by creating a public platform where consumers can indicate their demand and producers can find their off-takers. These are just 3 examples that show how we are moving to the next phase. From dialogue with industry to the actual creation of Europe's hydrogen market, setting it on the fast track. That is exactly the core business of the European Hydrogen Week. It is a place where governments meet industry, companies meet customers, and ideas meet investors. It is a place where vision becomes reality. And this is the destiny of the clean hydrogen economy. I wish you all a very successful European Hydrogen Week.
You really saw the commitment of the President of the European Commission to really work for hydrogen. She said it comes only naturally to start the clean energy, the clean tech dialogues with hydrogen, but she really made sure that she starts, I remember very well, and she put it into the hands of our next speaker, the first executive vice president of the European Commission, somebody who knows the energy union. He's the father of the energy union, and I know very much because I worked also with you in my previous political life. You also created the Battery Alliance. You saw how you can create something with your own hands, and then the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, comes and it melts somehow down. So nobody is as experienced and as, well, best placed for this job to implement the hydrogen strategy as you are. Maroš Šefčovič, we are happy and glad to have you here. Ursula von der Leyen said that she sends her best man